Good morning, guys. Welcome to Tuesday. So, I'm having a lot of really kind of unpleasant problems with my system today, and I'm really not sure what to do about it. But I wanted to work on most of the problems I'm having, of course, are with Photoshop. And good morning, Donald. I'm having problems with the Adobe server. Is what I'm having problems with this morning. So the Adobe server thinks that I am not a legal user of anything Adobe this morning. So we're having some major issues with that. I also seem to be having intermittent internet problems today. I think they are working on the line here. And so I think that's part of our issue, which, that's totally normal and there's nothing wrong with that. But it does mean that we are running a little behind or running a little slow or running a little something today. So I'm just going to go on ahead and have a short show. I wanted to start doing warm-up sketches. Last night I tried to do an update picture, which is where you take some of your old art and then draw the character again. I tried to do an update picture, and I really wanted to do the update picture without any of these, like I use the maquettes and things like that to sort of pre-pose my drawings. And I feel like I'm kind of using that as a crutch a little bit. So I wanted to just do this standard without any, just do this the normal way. And I was having sort of an issue with just anatomy and getting everything squared away, and I really was having problems. So I decided I should probably do warm-ups every day. So we're going to start doing that as sort of a tradition. I'm going to start with warm-ups, just normal warm-ups, and move on to what we're doing here. Let's go ahead and do that. Move on to that. I can't tell whether... So, Donald, are you hearing the music? Can you hear the music out there? Is it out there? Can you hear it? I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to work on something I really want to kind of work on here. Is one of my favorite artists is a guy named Steven Stolberg. And I found him, I want to say it was 2005. So found him about 2005 or so. And he was doing beautiful, like magic card type stuff. And really, really like his work. Became a patron for his Patreon. And before anybody else follows suit and decides to join him, he does a lot more not safe for work stuff nowadays. That's not as cool. I mean, it's fine. I don't mind. But it does offend some people. So, but one of the things he's done... There we go. Make sure we've got control over here. One of the things he did was he drew this really cool picture of this girl working on a bike. And I love her face. And that was fascinating to me. So I want to try to kind of reproduce that. I've got it up here right on the side. Since it is not safe for work, I'm going to not post it out there. But the thing that's interesting about her face is how she has sort of an interesting slope to the front of her face. Which I find fascinating. So I wanted to actually just explore this. I feel like this is something I kind of want to figure out. I think Stephen is in the Asian cultures somewhere. Even this is too flat, or too flat, not as dynamic. That's where we get a warm up, right? Because I feel like her lips are almost as far out as her nose. Yeah, it's more like it. Fascinating face. I feel like even this isn't far enough out. More like this. No, that's too much now. Now I've gone too far. I feel like it's forehead and less. So it's like forehead to nose. One of the things that's great about doing anatomy checks and stuff like that is getting different facial types. That's something I'm having a problem with, is my characters in my comic are going to be very diverse. They've got different things that go with them. But how do you express that? How does that come across? How can you make that so that people can see it and go, oh, okay, and she is, whatever, character A. And I'm having a problem with how to bring that into my work. And so that's why we practice. Well, last night, I had this gorgeous painting somebody had done, and I think it was a cover of a comic. But it was just this girl up against the wall, and she had her hands in her pockets, and she had a hoodie on, and she had one foot propped up against the wall. And just the way he had, the artist, I assume it was a he, the way that the artist had drawn her was just so absolutely spot on. The anatomy was perfect. And, I mean, down to just a little bit of a forward shoulder roll as she put her hands in her pockets. And it was just such a great piece. And I'm realizing my anatomy is never spot on unless I use a maquette. So we're going to practice a little bit today since we're clearly down on everything else Adobe for the day. I'm out of commission for a lot of stuff. So I'm going to go on ahead and just do some practice here. Put your jaw in. There we go. Good with that. She has sort of a stronger jaw. That's the thing that's fascinating to me. It's more like just trying to talk the lines out, right? She's got this curve to the chin. Goes right here. There we go. I'm just going to bring this in. Can't tell if I'm still broadcasting. Am I broadcasting? Not seeing you guys. I guess I'm still live up there. You can hear me, right? I mean, you can hear that. Okay. I'm just going to assume everything's good. Not hearing anything but good morning from Donald, so, which doesn't tell me whether he's still there or not. Okay, we're going to come through here one more time. I'm going to try this again. Just trying to figure out this anatomy. I love her face, so really wanted to figure out how to make that anatomy work. So let's talk about what we've got here. We've got cranium here, right? And her eyes are right here. So I know her eyes are on this downward slope, but then it's like it comes back out. We get sort of this effect. It's more forward. There we go. Right, let me get her nose right here. I feel like this is still very much like this. Like her face is very flat. If you're wondering, I have envisioned in my head what Chang looks like. And even though Chang Li is Chinese descent, I have a feeling that one of the sort of hidden secrets of their cabal is that they're not all Chinese. They took people from all over the place, so their genetics are mixed up, even though they're working really hard to be genetically perfect in the storyline. They weren't, which that sounds much more like what humans would do. You get people and they try really hard to do a thing and then fail miserably at it. And especially when you're talking about eugenics and trying to do things that are morally questionable at best. Which, by the way, this is not a political statement about China or anything like that. I don't have any specific issue. I rolled the dice. I'm not kidding. I rolled the dice randomly to find as a country that it went to, and it ended up being China, which it's important because I actually did not. The only one that I did exclude was America. I did not include America in that one, mostly because we're culturally diverse as is. We already have sort of a great amount of diversity. It'd be very hard to run an ethnic purity sort of thing with us. Not impossible, for sure, just difficult. I feel like from her nose, it's straight, like that, to her chin. I didn't realize this would be so difficult. There we go. Just kind of bring this around. just like that. You know? So her eyes are no longer red. Man, there's a reason why I gotta practice. Okay. We're just gonna delete the whole thing and start all over again. Let's start with guides. You start with what's going on here, guys. Okay. There we go. I feel like maybe, I don't know. Are we having problems with the reader here? Oh well. I'm guessing everybody's there. Okay. So we're going to take the brush, make it a little bit larger here. I'm going to clean up this inside here. I feel like I've successfully kind of gotten a lot of this figured out here. Interesting. So I think that Stolberg used an actual person for his model for this particular character, which is fine. I'm looking at her face, though, and I'm noticing some interesting effects. She's got a forward jaw. The jaw is forward more. Also notice that it's pointed up. So forward jaw, very pointed this way, like making a point to go forward like this. But because of that, that's drawn her bottom lip up and into almost like a permanent frowning position. Okay, save. Do your savey thing. There we go. Like almost like that. Not quite, but almost like that. And he's got like this little bit of hair in the front. Her hair is all tied in the back. It's very Asian hair, so it's very rigid. It's It's not very, doesn't give a whole lot. Yeah, I'm feeling like even this warm up is not doing so hot. Hmm. Everybody has their day. Sometimes their days are good, sometimes their days are bad. Even artists have good days and bad days. I have these days every so often. I feel kind of like our kind of um, like my artist eye doesn't want to agree with my hand. They just don't seem to agree with one another. Hi, let's not switch to the wrong tool. I don't know why, and I'm having problems with my entire system here because I don't know if you guys are detecting it, but my pin keeps dragging and stopping, and like it's reading or something's happening to the hard drives. I'm not sure what's happening, but something is causing a certain amount of slowdown to the system here. I feel almost like I want to just take this entire section right here and just make a triangle like this. There we go. That's more what I'm looking for. Yeah, that's true. I think sometimes we just need to get into our groove a little bit. Um, I'm also feeling like now we're finally hitting what I was looking for with this here, and just now kind of getting in on this groove here. I'm really fascinated by her face. I find it very attractive, and I'm not sure why. I mean, it's obviously a pretty face, but I find it interesting because it's a very different style of face. Get that. Get back there. There we go. Now that we've done that, we've gotten her face correct, I think. I feel like. Much, much better. Much, much better. Yeah, and I guess that's probably true. She's got a younger looking face, but I wonder if this lower jaw being forward more makes her look younger. She does kind of look like she's in thought, doesn't she? Kind of lost in reading or something. I think you're right, Donald. I think that I've oft said that we need to warm up like athletes do, and I think I have been kind of trimming myself a little short there and coming in here cold to these shows. And I've been able to pull off stuff, but I know that we've been sort of having, running issues of, I'll get this across here, like that, right down here, just trim this. I know that I've had some issues in the past with getting in there, getting started, getting rolling. Stalls on this. I'm frustrated. I've got a lot of really expensive software that I paid a lot of money for, and they're not running well. And I can't tell, is that because of our new machine? What's the story here? What's going on? What's causing this problem? Trim her chin back like that. Kind of like that. Right here. Come on. Go. We can definitely see ethnicity here. One of the hallmarks of an Asian style face. Exactly what I was headed for. There we go. Just warming up there. Don't feel like, though, I have captured the effect we were after here. There we go. all my buddies who have these little hairs here, they're so fine and thin on these sides right here, and their hair is so thick and coarse that it's like two different hairs. And it's so weird, and it drives them crazy. Most of my buddies who have this little like side hair thing, they drive them crazy, which is kind of funny because it's I think it's adorable. I think it's great. I think that it's strange that they get so upset about it, but that's a thing. I think we all hate some aspect of whatever we are, and that's kind of a weird thing because we really shouldn't. And I think that's something, it's difficult to get used to you. You're stuck with you every day, and I understand that. I understand that. Just kind of try to capture this very straightforward, like slope in her face. Bring that back. There we go. Much, much, much better. The clavicle sits right here. And this clavicle bone runs to both shoulders, which would be like right here-ish, give or take, right? So we want to run back. And these are cervical and spine bones right through here. And they live right in here. So when you look at her, like her neck, the bones here, but it's got these little tabs in the back, which push out. So they push out across the neck. So even though she's got these great, bones that are right here for her spine, which I think have given her a super long neck. I can tell because there's only really 5 bones in your neck, but I think I'd have this like real difficult time getting all of them in here. Because some of these guys are really small in your neck. They're not big, right? Giving her an extra long neck because that's one of those silly things that you do, which artists do, which make women look more attractive. And it's silly and weird, and I don't know why I did it. That's okay. Right? So kind of go along the back. This curve is just going to continue down, just like that. And then we'll figure out what we're doing with our shoulders. Because I'm guessing, really what we have here, you just have the front of her shoulder here, and then just her arm just doing this straight down thing. Hi. We're not working, are we? We're doing our thing. I think it's the recovery settings that need to be fixed. Because I think that's what's going on. I think it's saving it back up every 15 or 20 seconds, which is pretty rough on the system. Skull right here. I'm just going to put a lot of hair right here. And then it'll just kind of go up into... Yeah, you and me both. Actually, the good news is, Donald, this is going to be a short show, so don't worry about it. We won't be here for much longer, but I appreciate you hanging. And I don't know what's going on because I've been having stomach issues as well. So I wonder if there's just... I would say that there's a bug going around, except I haven't seen or been hanging out with anybody. So if there's a bug, I don't know how I got it, but I think there's just something happening here. So I'm going to go on ahead and just put her hair in a ponytail. That sounds like a thing. And I'll just bring it around like this. And stuff. Yep, that's my cat, all right. And we're just gonna do this. Yeah, it's probably the water. That's probably exactly what it is. Well, you can take care of yourself. That's a good idea. I don't have any problem with that at all. I feel like that's a wise idea. So go ahead and do what you need to do, and I'll still be here. I'm not going anywhere. I feel like her ear should be just a little higher up, like that. Bring that ear up just a little bit more. We're gonna bring it around so that it's here, and what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to kind of do that, and just to give the impression that ear is here. It's probably a little high. We'll have to figure that out. See you tomorrow. Yeah, we should all be better. So, go take care of yourself, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be here. I'm not going anywhere. There we go. But I will warm up tomorrow for show. I really like this. Slope on the front of the face. It's fascinating to me. Right, we're just gonna keep going down here. It's turning into a fascinating piece. Completely by accident. And make sure that the clavicle connects out to the arms. You want to make sure that this bone totally connects in. So that looks pretty good. Just divoting in. And I think I'm going to check really want to check the preferences real quick and check to see how often does it go in and do backups. Performance, right? Allocate a whole bunch of time and stuff. Interface, command. Oh, man, I really wish I knew this program better. Edit text, color conversion, file. Save recovery every 15 minutes. See that? I feel like it needs to be more. Like 30 minutes? I feel like I'm still getting lag, though, on this. Yeah, like that. That's a lag issue. I'm getting a hell of a lag issue somewhere on the line here. Okay. Bringing this around. There's a reason that I'm studying this particular face. This face looks like my character, my main character, this face. So the question really is this my character? And I just don't know it yet. I think she might be. So we're going to do some work here. We're going to do that. We're looking at this as more of a that's why we need to finish the back of her head so that we can get an idea of where everything should be positioned. Now we're looking at her skull in its entirety. I can see that I have some issues with where things are located, at least of which is, like, I think her ear isn't right. I really think her ear is not right. So, kind of coming around here, I'm actually going to get rid of that too. Let's remove everything from here so that we don't have to worry about it anymore. Right, and just look at her skull in its entirety. The ear is usually in line with the eyebrow, right? So it's going to be right through here at almost dead center, right? So this is the top of the ear right through here. And it goes down to about where the nose is, and that's where it stops. There we go. Much, much better. Now, one of the things that I had envisioned with Cheng is that her ears stick out. They're very cute and stick out, and they're very weird, but they stick out. So she's going to have ears that stick out a little. It's going to be something that sort of is embarrassing for her. She finds her ears to be somewhat embarrassing. But I want to study this. There we go. There. So what I'm doing here is I'm just putting in, that's good, the shape of her face, the shape of her head on the top here. I'm going to flatten that ear out. Good. So, starting sort of trying to get an idea of what Chang looks like. And this is a more realistic version than I would normally have with her. But it's giving me more of an idea. I also feel like, all right, let's go this far back. Right? Just to there. I actually kind of feel like we can go. There we go. I'm feeling like that's a pretty good representation of her. Put like the shoulder forward too. Like this. There we go. So all we're doing here is we're just bringing forward that shoulder. I'm just giving some depth to the drawing. There we go. Let's talk a little bit about that. The chest won't be as dramatically forward as that because she's leaning in. So I want to make sure I've got that kind of represented here. She's leaning forward, so this is going to be more like this. And we'll keep this. And it's all about one line. Again, it's all about one line. Here we go. So we're going to just put in this. Okay, about 7 minutes. I'm going to call this warm up good. And we can't go to normal work today because we don't have an Adobe account right now. I'm not sure why.
We'll figure that out. I've put in a trouble ticket, as I usually do. And it's not Photoshop that's the problem, it's the server. It's the security server. Which doesn't surprise me.
But we may be coming to an end with our time with Adobe. We'll have to see. Okay. I'm liking that. That's working pretty well.
I actually feel like she might have just pulled it all down, just like this. Pull all the hair back. A little higher, like right here. But either way, it's going to be flat across the top here.
Yeah, that's it. Good. I feel like that looks pretty accurate. Once I've done a realistic rendering of the character, it's a lot easier to do a anime-esque version of it. So we'll do that. I'm going to take a look at that, and we're going to kind of design that a little bit more. I'm going to work with this a little bit. We've got some time before we start the comics, so I've got some time to do some of this and see if I can make it work. So, okay, guys, sorry that we have a short show today, but we'll be back tomorrow, and hopefully the servers will all be back up. So, let's see what happens, shall we? And anyway, until then, I hope you have a great Tuesday, and I will see you tomorrow morning whenever all is better.